This is a short bite episode of Homeschool Together. Hello and welcome to Homeschool Together Short Bite Edition. Have you ever thought about capturing a unicorn, defeating a goblin, or finally taking down that fiery breathing dragon? Well, we got a game from you, from Gamewright, and naturally is called Dragonwood. Always to my heart, it was created by a dad.
Yeah, so I think
Yes.
this is a cool story. This dad
Yeah.
created this game to help his child with some simple addition practice, and he submitted it to Gamewright without even any pictures, just a description and all the cards made out of what this was going to look like, and they made the game, which I just think it's a charming story.
To quote my favorite movie, so you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah, basically.
I see.
So this game, it's a fun game. Basically, the idea, there's going to be a bunch of cards that are adventure cards. They're normal numbered cards. And you're going to be collecting those in either sets of the same number, of the same color, or in a run, 4, 5, 6, or 6, 7, 8, or whatever. And depending on how many you collect, you will turn those in. So let's say I collected 4 number 8s. And so I would turn all those in and I will get 4 dice that I get to roll. So however many of the set is however many dice you get to roll. And you're rolling those dice to capture some creatures that are on the table. So there'll be, I think, 5 face-up creatures. And they all have different values you need to attain.
And these are all fantasy creatures, like a spider, and there's I think an oozing glob of goop. And
Right,
stuff,
there's
and
trolls and just
trolls
different.
and
So it's got a
dragons.
nice fantasy element, and so you're going to roll these dice and you're trying to attain the number on the card. Now, depending on the type of set that you've collected, is the score that you need to get. So it's a stomp, a strike, or a scream, and depending on which type of set is, this is the set for stomping on the creature, right? And so you need to attain a certain dice roll value. The dice are 1 through 4, so that's a little bit easier on the addition. So you're going to roll them. You have to add up your dice and then see if you have gotten the same or more.
Yeah,
that's on the card.
on each one of the animal cards or the creature cards, it tells you what you need to achieve in order to defeat that character.
Right, for each kind of attack.
Yeah, for each attack. Yep.
Yep. So you turn in the cards, you roll, you add up those dice, and you see if you've captured the creature. It's got really fanciful artwork. There are also some magical items that come up that you can capture those items and then use them to get bigger creatures. The 2 dragons in the aforementioned Dragonwood are more difficult to get. You need to have kind of a lot of cards to get those. So those are ones that you might want a magical object to get a little bit further. There's also some event cards that can come up. So you capture a creature and then you draw another card to get on the table, and an event could happen and you could have to discard some cards. So it's got some cool elements, but it's all very simple.
Very simple. And simple addition, simple color recognition, simple number ordering. Very,
Right.
very nice.
I think, if you've got a 7-year-old or a kind of advanced 6-year-old that can, our daughter can play this, but she's not as engaged.
We've got to do the addition, and we've got to keep her, kind of organized on her cards.
Right. I think that a 7-year-old would just knock this out of the park, or kind of an advanced 6-year-old could play it. It's 2 to 4 player. It's 20 to 30 minutes, so it's really fast. The artwork is super engaging. It's got, the fantasy theme is great, and there's just a great amount of mental math there. And there's probabilities too, right? So, I need a score of 10 to take down this creature, and all the die are 1 through 4. How many should I turn in? How many dice do I really need what's the probability that I'm going to get that number?
Yeah, if I need a 12 and I only have 4 dice, that's almost impossible.
So, if your creature is, you've got like a 10 that you need to get, you need to calculate how many dice do I really need? What's the probability that each of these dice is going to come up what I need to get to there? Can I turn in just 3 cards, or do I really need 4 to assure that I get it? So there's some probabilities going on there too, which is really great.
Yeah, it's just a simple gameplay. If you have a kid who's really into fantasy, like we've talked about the Kingdom of Renly, or if you're happy to read, another fantasy book, whatever that might be, with dragons and whatnot, this is a really nice game to pair with that. Another way to get kids, if you're thinking about a kid struggling at certain things, whether it's numbers or simple math or colors, if they're still struggling with colors, if you want to do with the younger kid, great thing to do, be able to play with them, pull them through it and have a nice, really thematic element to the game that can really interest them, especially if a kid who's interested into fantasy stuff. Like, our daughter's really into, princesses and queens and stuff. So Sleeping Queens was really good for her. If you have a kid who's really into dragons and kind of monsters and fantasy creatures, and they really like that, if they're kind of into The Hobbit, if you're reading The Hobbit with them and they really are identifying with that, great little game to start playing with them to kind of, pair with whatever math lessons or, math work that you might be doing. It's a great way to go with that.
Yeah, this game has a follow-up game called Dragon Realm that just came out from Gamewright a couple of years ago.
Yeah, we haven't played it, but
we haven't done that yet, although it also gets fantastic reviews, and I heard it's a great companion to this game. So it's a solid family game.
Mm-hmm.
We had fun. We actually bought this game before we had children to play it, just the two of us.
We play kids games together.
Yeah. Another adult friend of ours recommended that we buy this because he enjoyed playing it with his partner. And so we got it to play together and we really enjoyed playing it. And then, of course, our kids came along. So it, highly recommended as a good family game. Not all the games that are reviewed would be good for like family game night. Some of them, we've just finished talking about all those early games, Unicorn Glitter Luck and My First Orchard, and those aren't really games you're going to play at a family game night. This is totally a family game night type of game.
And kind of in that fantasy realm, kind of like Castle Panic, Dragonwood.
Yeah. It's not too difficult. It's really fun to try to, press your luck and, capture the creatures. It's a great theme. It's got some good addition and probability work in there. And there's also the set collection and strategy there. So I think it's just overall, it's a winner. It's an easy choice for us as a great family game.
Another great game from Gamewright.
Indeed.
As always.
Thanks so much for joining us today and making us a part of your homeschool journey. Please engage with us on social media. Join our Homeschool Together podcast group on Facebook and find us at Homeschool Together Podcast on Instagram. We'd love to hear your feedback, questions, and recommendations. Until next time.
Happy homeschooling!